Hi there, Aries. Welcome back. Don't forget to click that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Let's get into this and see what is going on in your energy or who's around your energy. If you're new here, if you're a cross-watcher, my name is Ninja and I'll be your reader. Just know that this is an all Aries channel. So if this reading does not resonate with you, do help yourself to checking out any of my other readings. Remember, guys, that this is a general reading, so it may not resonate with everybody because everybody's on a different path. Tell me more, Spirit. Okay. Well, Aries, your reading starts off with the Queen of Wands in reverse. So, and then we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So we have the selfishness of the Queen of Wands, the demanding spirit of the, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody who's very demanding, possibly mixed with the Knight of Cups. It could be like somebody who's unreasonably demanding. Okay, that's what I'm getting. So somebody who could be emotionally manipulative, I would say, um, especially with the Knight of Cups coming out. Definitely some kind of emotional manipulation. Okay, that might be something that's going on here. There's a lot of toxicity with these two cards coming out together. There, it seems to be like enough toxicity to where like explosive type of arguments could just like come out of the blue. Like, everything's going great, and then all of a sudden, just like the wind blows, and boom, here we go. That kind of thing. I do feel like there's something here about maybe broken promises, because this could be like somebody who fails to do something, right? So if you look right here at the Knight of Cups coming out in reverse, it makes me feel like, this could be like broken promises. Somebody that is promising you something emotional, maybe like emotional support or emotional type of an offer or something, right? And then they just don't come through. Okay, so maybe this person has made a lot of promises that they never fulfilled and they never intended to fulfill. Okay, this could also be like somebody who is like where things are very one-sided, I want to say, you know very one-sided. Everything is how she wants. It doesn't have to be a she, it could be a he, but everything is how they want it to be. Everything is about them. Very selfish, and very selfish and also very insecure. So this could be like somebody who's very demanding and constantly needing emotional support or constantly needing reassurance. But then when it's the opposite way, when you need them to reassure you, you don't get it. You don't get that reassurance from that person. Okay, so because everything's about me, me, me here, and that's what I'm getting. So, whew, very heavy energy. Very heavy energy. Now we do have the Two of Swords coming out and the Two of Wands in reverse. So there's something here blocking, I want to say, your intuition. And the reason why I feel that way is because of the Two of Wands coming out in reverse. So this person is blocking you. They're blocking you. They're preventing you from making a very important decision here because they're being so manipulative. It makes me feel like this person is doing this on purpose, okay? Like they're preventing you from being able to get the information that you need to be able to make an informative type of decision here. And so by saying that, it makes me feel like this person has deliberately caused you to go on the wrong path to something. And it might have something to do with abundance, okay? Could be. It could be abundance. I'm gonna verify. Yeah, because over here, the next card we have is a magician. So it's all about tricks and it's all about illusions and things like that, right? Tell me more. Let's find out more about the Two of Wands. So, what is this important decision? Because there is something here that is demanding your attention, Aries. Okay, it might have something to do with the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune, but it's in reverse. It could have something to do with an inheritance or property. So this is saying like something that you're missing out on. And the Two of Cups, possibly even a relationship. So what I'm getting here, Aries, is you have somebody around you who is so demanding, unreasonably demanding. And they expect you to do for them what they will not do for you. And that's what I'm hearing. Everything here is screaming one sided, one sided. Okay? Whoever this person is. Could be a family member because we do have the Ten of Coins coming out. So it could be family. And there is people who are like this. You know, everything's about them. They truly believe the world evolves around them. And this person definitely fits that picture of a person like that. This is all about them. Nothing's about you. You lose out. Well, that's just so what? Okay, as long as they're getting what they want, that's all that matters, you know. And that's what I feel that is going on here. There's a very strong indication that you might be like losing out on your family, maybe family celebrations, birthdays, or just being around your family. You're missing out on family support. You're losing out on relationships in general. Okay, so this could be with friends, it could be coworkers, new friends, right? Meeting a new person. Like you're missing out because of this person. That's what I'm hearing. There's like a decision that needs to be made because you're the one that's suffering. Okay, you're the one that's missing out. Hierophant is coming out. Hierophant is coming out for the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the Magician. And we have the Magician over here as well. Okay, so somebody has like a bag of tricks around you, Aries. That's what I'm hearing. Somebody is carrying around this big bag of tricks and they're using everything that they have and just throwing it at you and seeing what sticks, what's going to work on you, how they're going to be able to get what they want from you. Yes. Well, first of all, with the Queen of Cups coming out, it makes me feel like there's a lot of things that you have been repressing. Okay, so this could actually be a past situation. It doesn't have to be something that you're going through right now, right? This could be something that's happened and it's been like a negative thing that just keeps going around and around, right? And then you're just repressing all these emotions that this person has put you through and making you feel insecure, making you feel like you don't know where you stand with this person. You know, making you always feel like you have to struggle. That's another thing I'm picking up on. Maybe you always feel like you have to struggle because everything's about this person and they're always taking from you and you're always on the wrong path, you know. The life that you're supposed to live, you can't live it because this person's in your life. You know what I mean? And I'm hearing that maybe you have had a complete burnout because of this person, because of their manipulative behavior, or because they've been so like dependent on you for everything. Maybe this is a sibling. You know what I mean? It could be for one of you, right? You know, they say that emotional manipulation and dealing with a narcissist, they say that it's like your brain is getting brain damaged, because of constantly being traumatized by what they're doing or being gaslit and things like that. You very well could be suffering from that, but it's not brain damage like it's something permanent. No, it eventually you'll eventually get your reins down. You'll eventually get your feet on the ground, right? But it takes a while because it's like a top. Once a top starts spinning, unless somebody comes and stops it, it's just going to keep spinning until it slows down and then eventually stops, right? Well, this kind of trauma bonding, or this is more like manipulation bonding. It's a form of trauma in a way if you think about it, because it's like you're putting your whole life on hold because of one person in your life, one person who's overly demanding. And this is definitely somebody who's overly demanding. You know what I mean? This is definitely somebody who, yeah, everything is one sided with this person, to the point where maybe you keep telling yourself, okay, I'm going to do this for this person, and then finally it's going to be my turn. And I think that's how we tend to, because I've been through this too, and I think a lot of people have. I think we tend to think, okay, we're gonna take care of this problem, and this person's gonna be set, and then they'll be okay, and then we could get to what I gotta do, and I could get back to my life, you know. And the thing is that it keeps going. And you never could get back to your life, right? You can never get back to what you need to do for yourself, right? I feel very strongly that this is definitely a past situation where you gave and you kept giving to this person and they just never appreciated it, you know? And for one of you, I ain't gonna lie, you might have been married to this person. Yeah. Which makes it even worse because it means like you chose to have that person in your life. But I know you. It wasn't like you were expecting this person to be this way. You just thought that you all were going to be a team because when you were a pair and you're a couple, you're supposed to be a team. That's how it works, right? But in this situation with this kind of person, you can never be a team. There's no team. There's no E. It's just time wasted with an I. Time, right? And that's what ends up happening. It's just one wasted moment after another. And I feel like something has gone wrong here where you are on the wrong path. You got two cards here that is saying that you're on the wrong path. You have another one over here. Look at this. I mean, geez, look how what's coming out here. You got like time and effort here being wasted, energy being wasted, emotions being wasted, but you still can't walk away. You know what I mean? Efforts being wasted. Maybe you start projects and then you can't complete them. Or maybe you used to not be able to complete them because of this person. If you were married to this person, then we do have the Hierophant coming out in reverse. So you might have divorced this person. But look over here. It's still saying like your life is not on track. Somehow you have gone off into to the right when you should be on the left, right? Or maybe you went off from the left, or whatever it is, right? But you're definitely not on the right path of where you should be because this person. It's like you're paying a price, and you've paid a price because of this person, and you continuously keep paying a price because of this person. And they still don't have their life on track. They still don't have their life together. And that's what I'm hearing for one of you or a handful of you. This is somebody who still doesn't have their act together, and they're still looking at you to come in and save them and give your time, your energy, your efforts, your emotions. You're still giving to this person. And this is just for some of you. For some of you, this is a past situation, but you're still paying, yes, because emotionally and maybe even financially, you're not where you should be. Maybe in career wise, you're not where you should be. Maybe financially, things are not so great. Why? Because of this person. And I know people say, "Oh, you're just gonna blame this on that person, and it's always somebody else's fault." Guess what? Sometimes it really is somebody else's fault. Yes, you shouldn't have let it go this far. But the thing is that when you're in the middle of something like this, you just keep thinking the end is right there. You're almost there. You're almost there. And that's how these kind of people keep you locked in. Because you keep thinking, okay, they're going to be settled. They're going to have what they need. And then I can focus on myself. I can go ahead and get what I need to get done. I can go ahead and start focusing on the things I need to do. But it never comes with these kind of people. That's the problem. And before you even realize it, you're already trauma bonded with this person. Because in a way, it is trauma bonded. Because if you think about it, you're giving to this person and it's never enough. So you end up neglecting yourself without realizing it. Without really realizing it, that's exactly what happened. So you might have let yourself go. Maybe you let your hair go. You don't take care of your hair like you used to. Maybe there's things that you used to do. When you think back before this person came into your life, and I'm talking to you who was married to this person, of course, if this is your sibling, they've always been there, which makes it even worse because how can you know when something's not right when you've always been in that environment, which makes it so much worse, right? Um, and for some of you, that's exactly what this is. This is something that you've have lived in all your life. You've been in this environment your whole life. How can you compare it to anything else? And so some of you, maybe you have a family member who's like this, and then you ended up marrying somebody who's like this. And for you, it's the same kind of situation. When you are raised in an environment, how do you know what's healthy and what's not? When life has always been this way. If the sun has always come out, don't you just expect it to come out again? If days turn into night, don't you expect it to come out, and the nighttime is going to come? You just expect it because it's always been that way. We don't question it. The wind blows. We don't freak out when the wind blows because it happens. It happens every day. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But we don't freak out unless it's like a hurricane, what I'm saying? Then we freak out. But I don't think this person is like a hurricane. I think this person is more of a constant breeze, and it's like a constant breeze that stops you constantly. Okay? So by you neglecting yourself, you traumatize yourself. You let yourself go. You lose your confidence. You lose parts of yourself, but without realizing you're losing parts of yourself. It's so easy to fall in this trap. And that's something that has happened to you here, Aries. You fell into a trap and then you just stayed in that trap because you didn't know that you were in a trap, Because look, you have Magician coming out twice, not once, but twice. That means like you were in the trap and you didn't even know it. You were living a life upside down and never understood that's what was causing your struggles. That's what was preventing you or has been preventing you for being as great as you should have been, okay? And what I mean by that, I'm not saying that you're not great. What I mean by that is that you should have like something else, a career, or the things that you should have been able to do. If you didn't have this demanding person, unreasonable person in your life, the things that you could have done with that time and energy, you weren't able to. So what I'm telling you is you've lost out so much because of this person and they're still not done with you. That's the point I'm making. This person is not done with you because they are an energy vampire and they will literally suck the blood out of you until your eyeballs pop. Like seriously. They will just literally suck every little thing that they can out of you because they don't have there's no ending, there's no emptiness, there's no, in other words, their cup doesn't have a bottom. If it doesn't have a bottom, it's just an infinite hole. It's not, there's no ending to it, you know? It just goes on and on and on and on forever, like space. Like space, throw something in outer space and guess what, it just keep going until 150,000 years from now it finally hits something, right? Something like that, right? And you know what, Aries, another thing I'm getting, why this person was constantly doing this to you, being so demanding and selfish, is because you produce results for them. You have some kind of skills, talents. You work very well under pressure, and you were constantly producing for them. So anything that they were asking you for, you did it. They asked you to make them, I don't know, 15 dozen tamales. You'd go in the kitchen and make them 15 dozen tamales, right? Or they needed 4 dozen tortillas. So you went in the kitchen and started making tortillas by scratch. Whatever it is, right? That's what I'm getting. Even though you were tired, working, stressed out, possibly pulling your hair out because you're not taking care of yourself, cortisol rises, things like that. You were still producing, and that's the thing. They were relying on you because you kept producing what they needed, whatever it was. So basically, you're very capable. That's what it is. You're very capable. You have the skills. You stay within the rules. That's what I'm hearing. And you get the results that this person needs. So you do what this person can't do for themselves. You do it. So this could be like a younger sibling who's always leaning on you, okay? Or this could be even a parent. For some of you, this might be a parent who is constantly pushing or depending on you to be the adult or to get things done, which happens quite a bit. Way more than it ever should. You know what I mean? So this could be somebody who's like expecting you to do a lot, breaking your back to do a lot for them. You know what I mean? And you know what else I'm getting here, Aries? Whichever way, if this was a family member or you were married to this person, the problem here is that you were put in that position for so long that now it's like you're an outcast to your own life. You don't function the way that you should have been functioning this whole time. You don't function this way because this way of functioning and being this person's backbone and catering to this one person seems to be such a large part of your life that now it's like you feel like it's too late, and I think this might be for some of you. You might feel like it's too late already. It's too late to go back to college, or it's too late to pursue that career, or you just feel like you don't have what it takes. And I'm here to tell you that's BS, because you definitely have what it takes. You're just in this position because this person put you in a position. And you just got comfortable, and then you just started accepting that that's how it is, and it's not. You're on the wrong path. That's the point. Your life is on the wrong path. Now we got to work at getting your life back on the right path to where you're supposed to be, okay? You might have had a mother figure. I'm telling you, one of you, this is your own mother that did this to you. Yeah, definitely. Somebody here, it's a mother figure who did this to you. They put you on the wrong path and you got stuck being the provider or the person who got things done. You got the results that was needed. Tell me more, Spirit. This person is looking for you. Okay, so that means, okay, so yeah, see, this is something that's been going on for years and years and years and years. Maybe one of you, definitely your sibling, or somebody that was supposed to be your love of your life, and this is what happened. This person is looking for you. This person wants to know where you are, so this person is not around you anymore. There's no reason for you to be in this bubble. that's how I want to call it. I want to call it a bubble. I think this is what this is. It's like you're stuck in this bubble, and you're so used to being in that bubble that you don't realize that there's a whole world out here that's just waiting for you, that's wanting your talents and skills that you bring to the table. There's things that you are so capable of doing, and you just don't realize it yet. And this person is looking for you. Yeah. They're looking through an old neighborhood, an old book, old pictures, or something like that. They're looking at something, and this person is reminiscing about the past. Yes, they're reminiscing about the past. This person wants to come back around because, see, you make them a winner. You are the person that pushes this person up. You know what else I'm getting, Aries? I'm getting that saying, pushing up daisies. Have you ever heard that saying? It's an old saying. If you're young, you probably haven't heard it. But we say pushing up daisies. Oh, he's pushing up daisies. Well, pushing up daisies means somebody passed away. You're not dead, Aries. But yet this person's coming to you because they're waiting for you to push up the daisies, which means them. They're the daisy. And I think that's what happened here, is that a part of you had to die so you could push up daisies to help this person. I'm getting so frustrated. Ugh. I'm getting so frustrated. And that's what happened here. I could just feel your frustration. You must have just been so frustrated around this person, because this person literally just like sucked the life out of you, to the point where in my third eye I'm seeing pushing up daisies. So you were the person who was pushing up daisies. A part of you had to die so you could accommodate this person. How ridiculous is that? Just think about that. That's so extreme. And it really is, because you're still a living, breathing human being. You still have dreams, you still have wants, and you still have rights. And you do have rights. And guess what? This person's coming around because they're looking for you, because you're the person that can push them up. You're the only person that can do this for them, and they know it. You're the person that gives them the results that they want. Aries, no. Now it's your turn. You know what I'm saying? It's your turn. You push up your own daisies now. You need to conform. Not conform. Is that the right word? Probably not. You need to change this behavior. The same way that you gave this person the results that they needed in their life, now you need to use that same energy and push yourself to get the results for yourself now. Now it's your turn. It's your turn to be the daisy. I hope that makes sense. But yes, it's your turn to shine now. You know what I mean? We've been backwards and backwards and backwards for people that we care about, people that we love, especially when we're in a deep commitment with that person. We keep putting that person first and putting ourselves on the back burner. And then eventually, years and years and years of doing this, we get used to putting ourselves on the back burner. No more. This is it. This is it. This is our New Year's resolution. Our New Year's resolution for this year, Aries, is putting ourselves forward. All of us. We're going to put ourselves in the front burner from here on out. And if somebody doesn't like it, well, too bad. This person is coming towards you because I'm going to tell you something. They know that you're going to give them something. You're going to produce something that they want. They're already in this sense that they're going to win something. Win. W-I-N. Win. They're going to win something by having your support. They already have it visioned in their mind. Trust me when I tell you this, Aries. When this person comes, they're going to start talking about the past. They're going to get you emotional, because this is what they do. It's their emotional manipulation. They're going to start talking about the past. They're going to get you feeling a certain kind of way, like all mushy, because they're expecting something. You know what you're going to do? You're going to get up and you're going to use that energy if you have to. If you talk to this person, use your own discernment, of course. I wouldn't talk to them, but if you end up talking to them, then you're going to use that energy and you're going to do it for yourself, not for this person. You're going to get up and you're going to take care of things for yourself. And you need to remind yourself that this person does not do it for you. They expect you to do things for them, but it's only one-sided. So you need to write this down, put it on your fridge or wherever that you could see it to remind yourself that when it's your turn, this person's nowhere to be seen. And this could be an ex that keeps popping up. This could be an ex that you're still communicating with, or you have a reason to talk to this person, whatever that reason is. But, you're still open to talking to this person because they're pretty confident that you will talk to them. They're pretty confident that you will listen to what they have to say. Okay? Anyways, Aries, I'm going to get out of this reading. This is the year of Aries. Do for you, Aries. Okay? It's never too late to change. That's for sure. It's never too late. You still have the rest of your life to live. And let's live it up. Let's do it. Let's do what we want to do, right? Anyways, guys, catch me in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I hope this reading helps you or it gives you the insight that you need so you could be like a rock when this person comes to you, and that's how you want to be. You want to be the gray rock. The gray rock is something that they say that you should do when dealing with a narcissist. You should go gray rock, which means you're going to be unresponsive, unproductive. They're not going to get any water out of you. They're not going to get any kind of emotional support out of you. They're not going to get anything that they were expecting or why they're coming towards you. They're not going to get any of that from you because you're going to do that for yourself. And you're going to become a gray rock to that person. Okay? That's my suggestion. Go gray rock on this person. Put yourself first. Anyways, Aries, catch me in the next one. I think you've paid a heavy price to have this person in your life. And no more. It's done. It's done. You've already paid that big price. And now it's your turn to take care of yourself. Anyways, guys, catch me in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.